What's up, y'all? So I was sitting here thinking about like relationships and um both committal and non-committal that I've had with men and stuff like that, right? And I just realized at my big old age of 31, I'm just not interested in being in a committed relationship with a man any longer. Not only has no man ever come along and convinced me why, but when I think about all of the different experiences I had, like I never, by and large, I never liked actually being in a relationship. I like some of the benefits of it, but I never actually really liked being in a relationship. And unpopular opinion, right? Unpopular opinion. I think the best stages of being with someone is like the talking stage or like the dating stage where like you all kind of like become each other's like favorite person, right? You may very well see each other go through like ups and downs. Y'all evolve as like different people. Y'all figure out y'all different like communication style and different thing like that. You may even be having sex with this person. Y'all can talk about a variety of different things without anybody getting offended, right? Whether y'all talking about different people y'all date, experiences, whatever. That is like the best fucking part. it's like it's like where you could honestly actually be yourself. And I just realized that I'm not interested in an imaginary title, right? I'm not interested in this imaginary position of power where you call me your girlfriend, because if you're calling me your girlfriend, you already see me as a wife. Why give me the title, right? Why? Because maybe you do see me as a wife, just not your wife. Maybe you see me as an opportunity to, gain some benefits from me. You know how like a lot of people like to be selfish and feel like, if I can't have you, nobody else is going to have you. Or while I do have you, I don't want anybody else to have access to you. So while I play around with you, while I'm with you, I'm going to use you as a resource for whatever it may be until I find the person that I actually want to be with. And this isn't just men. This is women can do this type of stuff too. I think that a lot of people are walking around dealing with people who are just fillers. But I'm not interested in being anybody's filler. I'm interested in having a good time. I'm interested in, little sporadic moments of like companionship, but I very well like my solitude. Like sometimes almost to a fault. Like, I love my own company. I love that I live alone. I love that I can get up and go and do and talk to who the fuck I feel like talking to without having to answer to anybody. I'm not going to say that there weren't any benefits to being in a committed relationship per se, but there weren't many. There weren't. Um Again, I think the older that I get, the more that I learn myself and figure out what I want and what I don't want. I just don't want to waste anybody's time, right? I don't want to waste anybody's time, and I don't want anybody wasting mine. I think it's kind of unnecessary to get into, and I'm not saying everybody is like this, right? There are definitely people out there who cherish commitment. But when I think about the population by and large, do I feel like most people really value being in a committed relationship, could really work on who they are as people, work on evolving, work on their communication styles, work on becoming better people for each other? Like people who actually come into your life and be like, yo, I'm willing to not only tell you, but show you through action that I appreciate you being in my life every single day, even if it's on a very minimal level. Not a lot of people are doing that. And shout out to the women and shout out to the men who have, people who come into their lives who show them like, listen, this is why it didn't work with nobody else. I love you. I cherish you. And I'm going to show you every single day why I deserve to be here. I think both men and women should have that mentality, but in a lot of scenarios, people get into the relationships to see what they can get out of it and not what they can pour into it. So I'm not interested. I'm not, right? And again, I don't really feel like anybody can convince me, and to be honest with you, like I've already said I don't want kids, you know? That already knocks a whole Pullman out. Oops. You know what I mean? And I'm not interested in being anybody's wife or anybody's mom. So, yeah, that knocks a whole bunch of more people out. So then it's like, yeah, I really just want you to mess with me for me. And then on top of that, like, I don't want you, I don't want to put any restrictions on you, and I don't want you to put any restrictions on me. Yes, I want you to be the kind of person who was like disciplined, all of the great things, all of the great things. Not no messy dude who's just out here just, doing and talking to anybody or whatever. But I just don't want to put any restrictions on you as a human being because you don't belong to me. You belong to yourself. And this is your life, and you should experience it in all of the ways that you want to. And I, at this point in my life, have just discovered how I want to experience mine. And it's not, again, having a imaginary position of power where in most cases I'm giving more out than I'm getting back in. you know I think I posted, like, I could definitely tell, like, the different kind of relationships that I have with people where I could tell if they were really in love or they weren't. Like, as a woman, when type stuff, right? I'm gonna get into this a little bit more on my Patreon because there's a lot more I want to say that I'm not really saying right now. And even how I came to this whole kind of like realization or whatever. And even as a spiritual woman, I'm just led to be just like as fluid as possible. I just don't believe in holding people down or making them, conform to the certain kind of lifestyle that I know that they don't want. There are a lot of people out here who are doing this to get to that. Like, a lot of people who pretend to want to be in a monogamous relationship when whole time they really want to entertain a lust. They want to entertain all of the things. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, anyway, like I said, it's a lot more that I'm gonna get into on my Patreon. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on. Do y'all? Where are y'all at with the whole relationship thing? I know some of y'all are in relationships. I know some of y'all are not. But would you just be interested in maybe just having like a companion or maybe even like a life partner or something like that versus being in a relationship or even getting married? Because I've opted out. I know I just hit myself. I opted out, right? I've opted at. I'm good. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on things. Y'all let me know what y'all think.